Have you ever considered how the small habits that shape your morning might be quietly putting your health at risk? You wake up, ready to take on the day, believing you're doing everything right, moving your body, staying active, following a routine that feels good. But what if, without realizing it, you were setting yourself up for a crisis? Mr. Hung, a 70-year-old man living in the countryside, spent his days tending to his garden, enjoying fresh air, and embracing a lifestyle most would consider healthy. Yet one morning, something unexpected happened. As he bent down to examine a plant, a sudden wave of dizziness washed over him, and in an instant he collapsed to the ground. His family rushed to his side, confused and frightened. How could someone who seemed so strong, so full of life, suddenly be so vulnerable? It's a question worth asking, because hidden within our daily routines are small, seemingly harmless habits that could be quietly chipping away at our well-being. In today's discussion, we're uncovering the overlooked morning mistakes that could be putting you, or someone you love, at serious risk. From the dangers of skipping breakfast before exercising to the risks of leaping out of bed too quickly, we'll break down 3 key morning habits that every senior should be aware of. And it doesn't end there. These insights aren't just about staying healthy today, they're about shaping a future where you can thrive, where you can pass down not just wisdom, but a legacy of well-being to those who come after you. Imagine making small changes that could add years to your life, years filled with strength, joy, and the ability to be there for the ones who matter most. These lessons might just be the difference between a life full of vitality and one weighed down by unexpected health struggles. So settle in, listen closely, and take in the life-changing advice that might just transform your mornings and your future. If you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you never miss these vital discussions. Your support means the world, and if you find this valuable, a simple like or share can help spread these life-saving lessons to more people. And if you're with me so far, drop a quick comment to let me know. Now let's get into the first crucial morning mistake that could be putting your health on the line. For many, mornings are a time of movement, a refreshing walk, a bit of stretching, maybe even a full workout before breakfast. It feels good to get the body moving early, doesn't it? But here's the problem. Exercising on an empty stomach, especially as we age, can be more harmful than we realize. Picture your body like a car parked overnight, its engine cooling down after a long journey. When morning comes, would you immediately push it to full speed without warming it up or fueling it? Of course not. Yet many people do exactly this with their bodies, diving into physical exertion before giving their system the nourishment it needs. During sleep, our bodies enter a phase of restoration. The metabolism slows, energy reserves are carefully managed, and essential repair work is done. By morning, your body is in a delicate state. Your blood sugar is lower, and your muscles are waiting for fresh fuel. Jumping into strenuous activities without eating can trigger a drop in blood sugar, leading to dizziness, weakness, and in some cases even fainting. For older adults, the risks are even greater. As we age, our cardiovascular system becomes more sensitive. In the early hours, the body naturally releases adrenaline to prepare for the day, causing a slight increase in blood pressure. Now imagine combining that with intense exercise and an empty stomach. This creates the perfect storm for a health crisis. The heart is forced to work harder, the blood vessels are under strain, and the risk of heart attacks or strokes increases significantly. But it's not just about the heart. Without proper fuel, the brain also struggles to function optimally. You may feel lightheaded, disoriented, or even nauseous. And if your energy levels crash mid-activity, the chances of accidents, like tripping, falling, or overexerting yourself, rise dramatically. So what's the solution? It's surprisingly simple. Begin your morning with nourishment. A small but balanced meal can make all the difference. A bowl of oatmeal with fruit, whole grain toast with avocado, or even a simple boiled egg. These foods provide the energy your body needs without weighing you down. And let's not forget hydration. After hours of sleep, your body is naturally dehydrated, so a glass of water or herbal tea should be the first thing you reach for. Once you've fueled yourself, ease into movement. Instead of jumping into heavy lifting or long runs, start with gentle activities, stretching, light yoga, or a short walk. These prepare your body without putting unnecessary stress on your system. I've seen firsthand how these small changes can make a world of difference. It's not just about avoiding harm, it's about setting yourself up for a day filled with energy and strength. And more than that, it's a message to yourself. Your health is worth the effort. Taking care of your body in the morning isn't just about today, it's an investment in your future. If this resonates with you, take a moment to reflect. Have you ever felt lightheaded after rushing into activity on an empty stomach? Or do you know someone who might be putting themselves at risk without realizing it? Let's keep the conversation going. Drop a comment and let's learn from each other. But we're not done yet. There's another hidden risk that affects far more people than you might expect. One simple movement in the morning that many don't think twice about, but it could lead to dangerous consequences. Let's talk about it. Imagine waking up feeling refreshed, your mind still lingering in the warmth of sleep. The alarm buzzes, and instinctively you throw the covers aside, ready to begin the day. But here's the mistake, one so common, yet so dangerous, that it has sent countless people to the emergency room without warning. Rising too quickly from bed. It seems harmless, doesn't it? You've been doing it for years, waking up and immediately sitting up, maybe even standing within seconds. But inside your body, something very different is happening, something that could put you in serious danger. Let's go back to Mr. Hung, the elderly man from earlier. His family had no idea what caused his collapse until doctors explained what had happened. That morning, like every other, he woke up and quickly sat up from his bed. Within moments, he felt dizzy, his vision blurred, and the world around him started to spin. Before he could react, his legs gave out beneath him, and he hit the floor. What went wrong? When you sleep, your body enters a state of deep relaxation. Your heart rate slows, blood pressure drops, and circulation adjusts to a resting state. The moment you wake up, especially if you sit up or stand too quickly, your body struggles to recalibrate. The sudden movement causes blood to rush away from your brain, leading to a sharp drop in blood pressure, a condition known as orthostatic hypertension. For younger individuals, this might only cause a brief moment of dizziness. But for older adults, whose blood vessels are less elastic and whose circulation isn't as responsive, this drop in pressure can be dangerous. It can lead to blackouts, falls, or even more severe consequences like strokes or heart attacks if underlying conditions exist. Now consider how often this simple habit is repeated. Every single morning, millions of people make this mistake without realizing they're playing a risky game with their health. They rush out of bed, unaware that their body needs time to adjust. It's no wonder so many unexplained falls happen in the morning hours. But there's good news. This is an easy habit to fix. Instead of jolting upright, follow this 3-step approach. 1. Wake up slowly. The moment you open your eyes, take a deep breath. Stretch your fingers, wiggle your toes, and allow your body to fully transition from sleep to wakefulness. 2. Sit up gradually. Shift to your side first, allowing your legs to naturally move off the edge of the bed. Stay in this position for a few moments, letting your circulation catch up. 3. Stand up mindfully. Once you're seated, take another deep breath. Slowly push yourself up, ensuring you feel steady before walking away. These few extra seconds could mean the difference between starting your day with stability or suffering an unexpected fall. And it's not just about avoiding dizziness, it's about protecting your independence, preventing injuries that could lead to long hospital stays, and ensuring you stay in control of your health. And here's something even more important. This small change doesn't just protect you. If you have aging parents, grandparents, or loved ones who might be making this same mistake, sharing this information could prevent an accident that changes their life forever. Think about the people around you. Have you ever heard a story about someone falling unexpectedly in the morning? Have you ever felt a bit lightheaded yourself when getting up too fast? Let's talk about it. Drop a comment below. Your experience might just help someone else. But we're not done. There's another mistake, one that many consider harmless, even beneficial, but it's actually a hidden health risk that could be silently harming you every single morning. Let's uncover it. There's something almost comforting about a steaming cup of coffee in the morning. The rich aroma fills the air, a ritual that feels like the perfect way to shake off the last remnants of sleep. It's a habit so ingrained in millions of people's lives that the thought of starting the day without it seems impossible. But what if that very first sip, the one you crave, the one that fuels your morning, was quietly putting stress on your body in ways you never imagined? Drinking coffee on an empty stomach. It's a scene repeated across the world. You wake up, stumble to the kitchen, and before eating anything, you reach for that caffeine fix. You tell yourself it's harmless. After all, coffee wakes you up, gives you energy, and helps you focus. But inside your body, something else is happening. Something that could be causing long-term damage without you even realizing it. Imagine your stomach as a delicate ecosystem. After hours of fasting overnight, it's in a fragile state. Your digestive system is calm, your acid levels are balanced, and your body is slowly preparing itself for the first meal of the day. But the moment coffee hits your empty stomach, that balance is thrown into chaos. Coffee, especially when consumed first thing in the morning, triggers a surge of stomach acid. Now, for some, this might not cause immediate discomfort. But over time, excessive acid production can lead to irritation of the stomach lining, acid reflux, and even ulcers. And it doesn't stop there. If you've ever experienced jitteriness, heart palpitations, or an unexpected energy crash later in the day, your morning coffee routine might be to blame. Caffeine stimulates the release of cortisol, the stress hormone. In small doses, cortisol is helpful, keeping you alert and ready to take on the day. But when caffeine artificially spikes it first thing in the morning, your body is thrown into a stress response before it's even had a chance to naturally wake up. Over time, this can lead to anxiety, disrupted sleep patterns, and even hormonal imbalances. And let's talk about blood sugar levels. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach can cause insulin sensitivity to drop, meaning that when you finally eat your first meal, your body might struggle to regulate blood sugar properly. This could lead to energy crashes, cravings, and even an increased risk of type 2 diabetes over time. Now, does this mean you have to give up your beloved morning coffee? Not at all. The key is timing and balance. Instead of making coffee the very first thing you consume, start your day with something small yet nourishing. Maybe a handful of nuts, a slice of toast, or even a glass of warm water with lemon. Giving your stomach something to work with before introducing coffee can prevent acid overproduction and keep your digestive system happy. And if you're someone who finds themselves feeling anxious or jittery after drinking coffee, consider waiting at least an hour after waking up before having your first cup. This allows your body's natural wake-up hormones to do their job first, reducing dependency on caffeine for morning energy. These small changes might seem insignificant, but they add up. I've seen people who have struggled with heartburn for years suddenly feel relief just by tweaking their coffee habits. I've heard from those who felt constantly drained and jittery find new energy simply by adjusting their morning routine. The impact is real, and it's powerful. So the next time you wake up and reach for that cup, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is my body ready for this? Have I given myself what I need to start the day in a way that supports long-term health? And if you know someone who swears by their morning coffee on an empty stomach, maybe it's time to share this with them. It might just change their mornings for the better. But there's still more to uncover. There's another mistake that seems harmless, one that many believe is necessary for their health, but in reality, it's doing more harm than good. Let's get into it. Morning routines are meant to set the tone for the day, to prepare you for the challenges ahead. You wake up, stretch a little, maybe drink a glass of water, or enjoy a quiet moment before the day begins. And for many, one of the very first things they do is reach for their daily dose of vitamins and supplements. It seems like the responsible thing to do, right? Ensuring that your body gets the nutrients it needs first thing in the morning. But what if this habit, one that seems so beneficial, was actually doing more harm than good? Taking vitamins and medications on an empty stomach. Imagine swallowing a handful of supplements before eating anything, trusting that they're going to fuel your body and keep you strong. But within minutes, your stomach starts to feel unsettled. Maybe you feel a slight wave of nausea, a burning sensation, or even an uncomfortable tightness in your gut. For some, it's just mild discomfort, but for others, it can be severe, leading to acid reflux, bloating, or even damage to the stomach lining over time. The reason? Many vitamins and medications are not designed to be taken on an empty stomach. Your digestive system, after hours of rest, is waking up slowly. It's producing just enough stomach acid to prepare for food, not for a sudden influx of concentrated nutrients or medications. When you take vitamins, especially strong ones like vitamin C, iron or zinc, without food, they can cause irritation. Your stomach, unprotected by food, absorbs these supplements too quickly, leading to discomfort and, in some cases, even reducing their effectiveness. And it's not just supplements. Many medications, particularly anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen or aspirin, can be harsh on the stomach lining when taken without food. Over time, this can lead to gastritis, ulcers, or even internal bleeding in severe cases. But there's more. Some vitamins, like fat-soluble ones such as vitamin D, A, E, and K, actually require fat from food to be properly absorbed by the body. Taking them on an empty stomach means you might not be getting their full benefits, essentially wasting what you thought was a health-boosting habit. So what should you do instead? The fix is simple. Always take your vitamins and medications after a meal, even if it's just something small. A piece of toast, a handful of nuts, or a spoonful of yogurt can provide just enough to protect your stomach and help your body absorb the nutrients efficiently. If you're taking multiple supplements, spread them throughout the day rather than all at once. Not only does this prevent stomach irritation, but it also allows your body to absorb each nutrient better. For example, iron is best taken with vitamin C for better absorption, but it shouldn't be taken with calcium, as the two compete for absorption. Small tweaks like this can make a big difference in how well your body utilizes the nutrients you consume. I've seen people suffer from years of unexplained stomach pain, not realizing that their morning supplement routine was the culprit. Others struggled with fatigue, unaware that they weren't absorbing their vitamins properly. Just by changing when and how they took their supplements, they saw dramatic improvements in their energy levels, digestion, and overall well-being. So before you pop those pills or chew that vitamin gummy first thing in the morning, take a moment. Ask yourself, have I given my body what it needs to process this properly? And if you know someone who might be making this mistake, this small piece of knowledge could save them from unnecessary discomfort and long-term health issues. But there's still more to uncover. Another habit, one that many people believe is good for them, might actually be doing the opposite, silently increasing their risk of health complications. And the worst part? Most people have no idea. Let's dive into it. The morning air is crisp, the world is just beginning to stir, and after a long night of rest, your body is ready to rehydrate. You reach for a glass of water, trusting that this simple habit is nourishing your system, preparing you for the day ahead. But what if the way you drink that water, the temperature, the timing, the method, was unknowingly putting strain on your body? Drinking cold water, first thing in the morning. For many, there's nothing more refreshing than a glass of ice-cold water, especially after waking up. It jolts the senses, brings a feeling of alertness, and feels like a clean, invigorating way to start the day. But inside your body, something else is happening. Something that might be slowing down your metabolism, disrupting digestion, and even causing unnecessary stress on your system. Think of your digestive system like a carefully maintained fire. When you wake up, your internal organs are still in a gentle state of awakening, gradually warming up to begin their daily functions. Pouring cold water into this system is like throwing ice onto a small flame. It shocks the body, slowing down the digestive process rather than supporting it. Your stomach, which has been at rest overnight, thrives on warmth. When you drink something ice-cold, the blood vessels in your digestive tract constrict, making it harder for your stomach to break down food and absorb nutrients efficiently. This can lead to bloating, sluggish digestion, and even a weakened immune response over time. But that's not all. Drinking cold water first thing in the morning can also disrupt circulation. Your body, especially after sleep, needs proper blood flow to wake up fully. Cold water forces the body to redirect energy toward warming up that liquid instead of focusing on vital morning functions like flushing out toxins and preparing the digestive tract for breakfast. Ever felt a sudden headache or tightness in your throat after drinking something ice cold? That's because the sudden temperature drop can trigger nerve responses, causing mild spasms in the throat or even headaches in some individuals. It's the same reason people sometimes experience a brain freeze when drinking something too cold too quickly. So what's the solution? Instead of cold water, opt for lukewarm or room temperature water in the morning. Even better, start your day with a glass of warm water with lemon. This not only hydrates you, but also helps kickstart digestion, supports liver function, and provides a natural detox for the body. Warm water relaxes the stomach muscles, improves circulation, and gently stimulates the intestines, making it easier for your body to absorb nutrients and eliminate waste efficiently. Many people who make this simple switch report feeling more energized, experiencing fewer digestive issues, and even noticing improvements in skin health. I've heard stories of people who struggled with bloating and discomfort for years, thinking it was their diet, when in reality their habit of drinking cold water was slowing down their digestion. Others who suffered from sluggish mornings found that switching to warm water gave them a gentle, natural wake-up, without relying on caffeine or stimulants. It's such a small change, yet it makes a world of difference. So before you reach for that cold glass of water tomorrow morning, pause for a moment. Think about what your body really needs to function at its best. And if you know someone who always drinks ice-cold water in the morning, share this knowledge with them. It could be the simplest yet most effective change they make for their health. But there's one more mistake, one final habit that most people don't even question. Yet it's something that could have long-term effects on your heart, your circulation, and even your ability to stay active as you age. Let's take a closer look. The morning begins with a sense of routine, a familiar pattern that sets the foundation for the rest of the day. You wake up, stretch a little, maybe grab a glass of water, and then, without thinking, you head straight for the bathroom. It's second nature, an automatic habit, one that you've followed for years. But what if this seemingly harmless act was actually putting unnecessary strain on your body? Rushing to the bathroom immediately after waking up. It sounds strange, doesn't it? After all, isn't it natural to empty your bladder first thing in the morning? It's something we've been taught since childhood, to relieve ourselves as soon as we wake up. But the truth is, this instinctive rush to the bathroom might actually be weakening one of the most important muscles in your body over time, your bladder. Think of your bladder like a balloon. Overnight, as your body rests, your kidneys continue their work of filtering waste and producing urine. By morning, your bladder is full, but not necessarily at its absolute capacity. When you immediately empty it the moment you wake up, you may be training your bladder to become oversensitive to even moderate levels of fullness. Over time, this can lead to something called bladder urgency syndrome, where you feel the need to urinate more frequently than necessary, even when your bladder isn't truly full. This habit can slowly weaken bladder control, increasing the likelihood of incontinence or frequent nighttime urination as you age. And there's another hidden risk. When you urinate, your body experiences a temporary drop in blood pressure. Normally, this isn't an issue. But in the morning, when your body is still adjusting to being awake, that sudden drop, combined with standing up too quickly, can cause dizziness or even fainting, especially in older adults or those with low blood pressure. This explains why some people feel lightheaded after using the bathroom first thing in the morning. It's not just dehydration, it's the way your circulation reacts to sudden changes after hours of rest. So what should you do instead? The key is to give your body a moment before heading straight to the bathroom. When you wake up, sit on the edge of your bed for a minute. Take a few deep breaths, stretch lightly, and allow your circulation to stabilize. Then drink a small glass of water, just a few sips, to gently wake up your bladder and digestive system. By waiting just a little longer before urinating, you allow your bladder to maintain its natural capacity, strengthening it rather than conditioning it to expect frequent emptying. And if you find yourself waking up in the middle of the night to urinate too often, consider training your bladder by slightly delaying bathroom trips during the day to improve its endurance. I've heard from people who have struggled with frequent urination for years, thinking it was just part of aging, only to realize that simple habit changes made a dramatic difference. By allowing their bladder to function naturally instead of rushing to empty it unnecessarily, they regained control and saw a reduction in nighttime trips to the bathroom. It's such a small shift, but one that can prevent discomfort and long-term issues. So tomorrow morning, before you instinctively run to the bathroom the moment you wake up, pause for a moment. Let your body wake up first. Give yourself time to adjust, and if you know someone who constantly struggles with frequent urination or morning dizziness, share this with them. It might be the information they need to regain control of their bladder health. Now, after exploring these hidden morning habits that could be silently affecting your health, take a moment to reflect. Have you recognized any of these patterns in your own routine? Have you ever felt unexplained dizziness, discomfort, or fatigue in the morning without knowing why? These seemingly small habits, rushing out of bed, drinking coffee too soon, skipping breakfast before exercise, or even how you drink water, can have a profound impact on your long-term well-being. But the best part? You now have the knowledge to make a change. Small, mindful adjustments to your morning routine can help you protect your health, increase your energy, and ensure that each day starts on a strong and stable foundation. So if this information resonated with you, take action. Try implementing just one of these changes and see how your body responds. And if you found this valuable, share it with a friend, a family member, anyone who might be unknowingly making these same mistakes, because sometimes the smallest changes lead to the biggest improvements in health and quality of life. Stay mindful, stay healthy, and most importantly, take care of yourself. Your future self will thank you. Mornings hold a quiet kind of power. The way you start your day often sets the tone for everything that follows. Some habits may seem minor, harmless even, but they accumulate over time, shaping your health, energy levels, and overall well-being. And while we've already uncovered several morning mistakes that could be unknowingly harming you, there are still a few more that deserve your attention. These are habits so deeply ingrained that most people never even question them. But once you do, you might start noticing subtle changes in how you feel every single day. Skipping morning sunlight exposure. You wake up, head straight into your morning routine, maybe making breakfast, checking your phone, or getting ready for work. The world outside is bathed in the soft glow of the early sun, but without realizing it, you miss one of the most important natural health boosters available to you. Morning sunlight. Sunlight in the early hours of the day does more than just brighten your surroundings. It regulates your circadian rhythm, the internal clock that controls your sleep, energy levels, and overall health. When natural light enters your eyes, it signals to your brain that it's time to be awake, helping suppress melatonin production and increasing alertness. This is why people who expose themselves to natural sunlight early in the day often feel more energized and focused. But here's the issue. Many people spend their mornings indoors, relying on artificial light. This disrupts the natural wake-up process, leading to grogginess, sluggishness, and even long-term sleep disturbances. Over time, missing out on natural light can also contribute to mood disorders like seasonal depression, as your body struggles to regulate serotonin and melatonin levels. And then there's the issue of vitamin D deficiency. Your skin needs sunlight to produce this essential vitamin, which plays a crucial role in bone health, immune function, and even mental well-being. Skipping morning sunlight, especially over time, can lead to deficiencies that result in fatigue, joint pain, and a weakened immune system. The solution is simple. Make it a habit to step outside in the morning. Even just 10 to 15 minutes of exposure to natural light can help regulate your body's internal clock, improve your mood, and support overall health. If stepping outside isn't an option, try opening your windows, letting natural light fill your space, and avoiding prolonged exposure to artificial blue light from screens. Now, speaking of screens, that brings us to another silent morning mistake. One that almost everyone is guilty of, but few realize its true impact. Checking your phone immediately after waking up. It's become a habit so deeply embedded in daily life that most people don't even question it. The alarm goes off, and before you've even gotten out of bed, your hand instinctively reaches for your phone. You check messages, scroll through social media, maybe glance at the news. It feels harmless, just a way to ease into the day. But what if this simple act was actually sabotaging your brain's ability to function optimally? The first few minutes after waking up are incredibly important. Your brain transitions from deep rest into wakefulness, and during this time, it is highly impressionable. When you flood it with external stimuli, emails, notifications, social media updates, you force it into a reactive state rather than a proactive one. Instead of starting your day with clarity and focus, your brain is immediately bombarded with information, stress, and distractions. This instant exposure to blue light from screens can also disrupt melatonin production, making it harder for your body to establish a natural wake-up rhythm. And the constant influx of dopamine from scrolling through social media or checking messages creates a cycle of dependency, where your mood and energy levels are influenced by external inputs rather than your own internal sense of calm and direction. But it doesn't stop there. Studies have shown that people who check their phones first thing in the morning are more likely to feel stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed throughout the day. Their minds become cluttered before they even have a chance to process their own thoughts, leading to reduced productivity and increased mental fatigue. Stay aware, stay intentional, and most importantly, take care of yourself.